Well, many of the things that are on television and the movies today are just fine. Many of them aren't. I remember when I was just a young boy going to the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia to see Gone with the Wind. I was 7 years old then. I'm almost 70 now. And at the end of the movie, Clark Gable, who was Rhett Butler in the movie, said to Vivien Leigh, who was Scarlett O'Hara in the movie, frankly, he said to her, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." Everybody in that entire theater gasped for breath. That's the first off-color word I ever heard in a movie in my life, right? And just damn. I don't give a damn. Everybody gasped. Now, nobody would gasp if somebody was up there raping their own mother. That sort of thing is what gets me with the movies today. All the violence, somebody being killed every 30 seconds throughout a video game, some kind of crap like that. It just don't get it. It shouldn't even exist. That's exactly how I feel about that. I don't like politics, period. Sometimes a good thing gets done, but very, very seldom. But as far as politicians go, there's not a dime's worth of difference in a Republican and a Democrat. All they want to do is get in power and feather their own damn nest. That's what they all do. And they have never solved the problems in this world. They've never solved the problems in the United States. And they're not going to, because they just don't have the ability to do so. The problems outstrip the human race by far. That's my opinion of politics. I know we're going to have it. It's a necessary evil. But I just as soon really not even talk about politics to anybody, because I usually get in an argument with them about it. Okay, you asked me a question about video games. I suppose some video games are all right in moderation, but what I see with young people these days is they all they think about is one video game after the other. They can't wait after they've got one till they have to get another one. And they'll sit there on their ass for hours and hours playing those things, blowing people's heads off every 30 seconds, sitting on their ass getting fat while they're doing it, never moving around getting any exercise. When I was a kid, I got exercise by getting out and rolling a tire, climbing a tree, swinging on a muscadine vine, or playing horseshoes till I was blue in the face. That was my addiction at that time, horseshoes. Well, at least I got some exercise. I wasn't just sitting around all the time. And young people today, they don't realize what a disservice they're doing to their bodies and their minds by sitting there imbibing that crap hour after hour after hour. As far as I'm concerned, I just assume not one had ever been invented. We'd have been a hell of a lot better off. All right, let's talk about wrestling a little bit. I used to watch wrestling quite regularly, and I enjoyed it. But to be honest, I've gotten to the point where I don't care whether I see it or not, because it's just a bunch of big blowhards up there running their mouth. Vince McMahon is one of the worst ones. He'd take money off a dead man's eyes to make money, I would think. Maybe I'm being a little bit hard on him, I don't know, but that's just the way it comes across to me. These wrestlers go in there, and the thing I don't like about wrestling, as compared to MMA or Ultimate Fighting, whatever you want to call it, when these guys go in there to wrestle, they know who's going to win the match before they ever go in the ring. Oh, they put on a good show, and they're tough, and they're rough, and they have to be in excellent physical condition to go through the stuff that they go through. I don't take that away from them. But it just bothers me that it's not a real contest, a real match between two individuals striving to do their best to overcome somebody else. Now with MMA and Ultimate Fighting, they don't know who's going to win when they go in there. Those guys go in there with their whole heart and their body and their mind and everything else set to fight to the finish, and they do. Sometimes they get a draw, sometimes they get knocked out, sometimes they get submitted, but it's real fighting. And from that standpoint, I like MMA much better than I do modern so-called entertainment wrestling. It's just not the real thing, and there's nothing like the real thing, baby.